लाड लाडोबा, भेटायला आला पहा लाड लाड लाडोबा, शब्दांचे बोट धरून आला जणू चांदोबा.
Chapter 1. Visaki, Okinawa. Tara's day always began at 6 in the morning. Her first moment filled with inspiring quotes from Alexa. This ritual was a gift from her mother, an ex-executive of multinational company, who taught her the power of positive affirmations. Her father, a botanist, instilled a love for books and nature. At just 9 years old, Tara was a walking encyclopedia, not only of countries, rivers, mountains, but also of a vast array of plants and animals. Her father, Dr. Gopal, often took her on expeditions into dense forest, ignoring the harmful advice from others. At first, the strange animal sounds scared her. She would cling to her father, crying and pleading, "Let's not go any further." But with each trip, as she learned more about the forest and its creatures, her fear melted away. Her mother's wisdom echoed in her mind. We only fear what we don't know. Dr. Gopal's research on medicinal plants had earned him international acclaim, and his name, along with his district, had appeared in a major global newspapers. Their home was a lively hub for botanists, scientists, and medical experts. Tara would sit and listen, absorbing every detail of their discussion, always eager to learn something new. Today was a special day. Tara was heading to IR1 forest with her father. Prakash uncle, her father's assistant, and Vinod uncle, a long-time family friend, would be joining them in jeep, along with forest officer. To prepare for the journey, her mother was working from home. They packed their bags, and her mother added a few more essentials like dry snacks, glucose, juice boxes, and a first aid kit. By 8:30 a.m., they were ready. A few minutes later, Prakash uncle arrived in the jeep, which was already loaded with the sample kits, scientific equipments, flashlights, a gas lantern, and camping gear, including 2 state-of-the-art folding tents sent by Tara's aunt in America. They were spending the night in the forest. As they drove, Tara launched into a game of naming villages, rivers, animals. The first stop was Vinod uncle's village, Madhupur, about 20 kilometers from their town. Vinod uncle, a grocery store owner, was an invaluable friend to Dr. Gopal. Though he had no formal training in botany, he joined these expeditions out of loyalty and admiration for his friend's work, diligently helping with any task to free up Dr. Gopal's time. He loved these adventures, but he knew better than to challenge Tara in her naming game. As they chat and played, the jeep reached the village near the IR forest, where they picked up a forest officer, Jitendra, and stern-looking man with a walkie-talkie and a rifle. With the officer on board, the light-hearted conversation ceased. Dr. Gopal and Jitendra discussed the expedition. Jitendra: Dr. Gopal, are you sure you don't need more security? Our base camp is far from site where the plant grows, near the lake. The marshy area is frequented by animals. But we have identified specific afternoon and night time hours when the predators are absent. We must be in and out during those windows. Dr. Gopal: Thank you, but the fewer people the better. We are on the verge of historic discovery, the Sanjeevan creeper, a plant once believed to be a myth. This plant holds the key to curing diseases like cancer. The world is watching. Until this research is complete and handed over to the Ministry of Ayush, we must keep it a secret. This will be a greatest discovery of my life, and I brought my daughter so she could witness it. The next generation should experience this firsthand. Jitendra looked at Tara with an unusual expression. To him, Dr. Gopal hadn't brought a witness, he had brought a liability. What could this little girl possibly know? He thought, and began asking her her usual patronizing questions about poems and stories. But Tara, with the confidence of seasoned explorer, definitely changed the subject, revealing her deep knowledge of the forest. The officer was stunned, and soon an unspoken friendship formed between them. At the base camp, Vinod uncle expertly set up a folding tents, marveling at their quality. Prakash uncle laid out all the research equipments. Vinod uncle, always thinking of others, started making a warm khichdi, which he served to the three men along with delicious savory suraichi vadi sent by his wife. After lunch, they planned to leave for the lake at exactly 2:30 p.m. Jitendra still worried about Tara, fearing her inexperience might jeopardize their mission. But once again, Tara proved him wrong. As they walked along the forest path, she followed every rule, navigating dry leaves and fallen branches with remarkable confidence. She knew which plant to gently touch and which to avoid due to allergies or toxicity. It was clear she was an expert in her own right. The lake was 2.5 kilometers away, and a marshy area lay by its side. Most animals stayed at the other two large lakes in the forest, but the caution was still paramount. Following all the safety protocols, they arrived at the lakeside. Jitendra, Dr. Gopal, the plant you are looking for is in the marshy area here. We must follow this narrow path in a single file. Tara's eyes sparkled. The myth her father had pursued for so long was finally within her grasp. They walked single file towards marsh. Jitendra, holding his binoculars and rifle, took up the rear, his responsibility to protect the group weighing on his mind. They reached the designated spot, and before Jitendra could speak, Dr. Gopal exclaimed, "This is it!" Everyone was mesmerized. The plant floated on the water like giant lotus. It had hollow reddish brown streams, bright green leaves, and a flower with a purple exterior and white interiors. The blossoms were similar to mythical Brahma Kamal, with a brilliant yellow pollen on a saffron-colored filaments, adorned with the delicate pink patterns. After a few minutes of silent awe, Dr. Gopal instructed Prakash uncle to collect samples. Prakash carefully placed them in labeled bags, a silent Vinod uncle beaming with pride. "Gopal, I'm so happy you found what you were looking for," Vinod uncle said. "I'm not certain yet," Dr. Gopal replied. "We will know tonight." "What do you mean? Isn't this the plant you were searching for?" "Yes, but not all of them possess medicinal properties. I will explain later. Tonight only Prakash, Jitendra and I will return. You and Tara must stay here at the base camp." A sudden flicker of paternal worry crossed Dr. Gopal's face. For the first time, he felt it was too dangerous to have Tara with them at night. Tara was disappointed but didn't argue. She knew her father was the leader, and a good team member follows their leader's order without question. Back at the camp, Vinod uncle made them all black lemon coffee to combat their fatigue. They ate a light meal at 7, and Dr. Gopal, Prakash and Jitendra left for the lake, securing the camp's tall wire gate behind them. Tara couldn't relax. Her mind was back at the lake. She was consumed with worry and a question of why her father had told her to stay behind. She even considered waking up Vinod uncle to go back, but she knew he would refuse. She remembered the secret her father had told her. The Sanjeevan creeper was a rare type of a plant, but it had many lookalikes. The medicinal one, the true Sanjeevan creeper, was surrounded by these other similar plants, their roots all intertwined. The secret was that on the 4 nights from the 11th to the 14th day of the lunar fortnight, the steam of the true Sanjeevan creeper would glow with their light. Tara desperately wanted to see this magical phenomena. She turned to find Vinod uncle sleeping soundly. She knew he wouldn't let her go. So she made a silent decision. Grabbed the gas lantern to avoid making noise, slung her bag on her back, and quietly slipped out of the tent, running towards the lake. She ran for nearly a kilometer before stopping abruptly. The beautiful trees from the daytime now looked menacing in the moonlight. The tangled vines on the ground seemed to twist and slither, threatening to entangle her. Fear gripped her and she felt dizzy. But then a voice, like Alexa, spoke inside her head. What is there in the day is also there at night. It was her own inner voice. The thought illuminated her mind. It is the same, she told herself. Just moonlight instead of sunlight. She gave herself a little tap on the head and looked around. The forest's beauty returned and she continued her journey. Taking all the necessary precautions, she decided to hide behind a large tree near the marsh, determined not to interfere with her father's work. From her vantage point, she saw a terrible sight. There weren't 3 men at a marsh, but the 5. 2 men held a pistol to her father and Prakash uncle's head. Jitendra stood with his arm raised, his rifle on the ground. She realized they were smugglers, an international gang that had been tracking her father for months. First smuggler, Dr. Gopal, what a great convenience. You brought us right to the plant. We will take this to our country and sell the medicine back to your people. You have made our job so easy. Second smuggler, enough talk. Let's get this over with. Kill them and cut the plants. Dr. Gopal began to laugh. Look at me. Kill me. And the secret of which is the medicinal plant dies with me. Take them all. You will only have a bag of a useless wet trash. First smuggler to the second. Tie their hands. We'll take them to the boss. He will decide their fate. The smugglers tied their hands and led them away towards a van hidden in the tall grass. Tara followed them consciously, her mind racing. What could she do? She thought back to her mother's advice. The answer is in the question itself, near the root of the question. Tara closed her eyes. The question was, how to save the Sanjeevan creeper? Suddenly, the answer came to her. From behind the tree, she screamed as loud as she could. Visaki, Okinawa! Visaki, Okinawa! Dr. Gopal heard her cry, and a look of understanding crossed his face. He too began to shout the words. Prakash uncle was confused, but Jitendra, who knew the local tribes recognized the words carved on their temple, he joined the chorus, and the 3 men began to shout, Visaki, Okinawa! The smugglers were completely bewildered. They couldn't understand the language and tried to silence them. But now Prakash uncle, seeing the others, joined in. As the smugglers raised their guns, a swift arrow struck one's hand. He dropped his pistol. Without hesitation, Jitendra, still with his hand tied, picked up and held it to the other smuggler's head. Suddenly, a tribal protection squad appeared. Jitendra had a good relations with the locals. At his signal, the tribesmen captured the smugglers, tying them up, and then freed Dr. Gopal and Prakash uncle. Dr. Gopal's eyes scanned the darkness, searching for Tara. She came out of a shadow and hugged him tightly, calling him Baba. Vinod uncle, who had woken up and come looking for Tara, arrived just then. The tribesmen led them to the settlement. Jitendra explained Dr. Gopal's work, and the tribal chief took them to the temple cave. Inside, he handed Dr. Gopal an earthen pot filled with seeds. In his language, he said, Go, do good for humanity. They were the seeds of the Sanjeevan creeper. which the tribes had cultivated for generations, using it to combat epidemics. Dr. Gopal secured the seeds. The chief's wife gave Tara a small wooden doll of the nature goddess, put her hand on Tara's head, and whispered a blessing. They said their goodbyes to the tribe and headed back to the base camp. As they passed the marsh, they witnessed the wonder Tara had been so desperate to see. The steam of the Sanjeevan creeper were glowing with the blood red light, illuminating the water. "This is the true Sanjeevan creeper," Dr. Gopal said in awe. The other plants, which looked just like it, protect it. They reached the camp safely and immediately began preparing to leave for home, their minds still on breathtaking sight. No one realized when dawn had broken. Though exhausted, the joy of their discovery outweighed their fatigue. Dr. Gopal repeatedly hugged Tara, kissing her head. "My child, you took such a huge risk. What if something had happened to you? I would never have forgiven myself." Jitendra interrupted him. "But because she came, we were saved. In a crisis, even the most experienced people can lose their presence of mind. But Tara's quick thinking saved us all." Prakash uncle finally asked, "But doctor, what does Visaki Okinawa mean?" Dr. Gopal explained, "It means protect the wealth of the ancestors." The book that mentions the Sanjeevan creeper speaks of the Narao tribe, who are the protectors. This tribe exists wherever there are rare plants are found, worshipping the goddess of nature. This message is carved on the outside of every temple. Prakash uncle, his assistant, was left speechless by this revelation. 12 years later, Tara is in the library at University of Salford in England. She returns a book to the librarian, Miss Lara. "Miss Lara, hi dear, I heard that you are going to India tomorrow." Tara, "Yes, I am going to Bharat." Miss Lara, "Wish you a delightful journey. Please convey my regards to Dr. Gopal and your mother. I'm a big fan of your father." Tara, "Sure. Thanks, Miss Lara. So nice of you. See you again." Lost in her memories, Tara stepped out of the library, ready to return home.